we're always continuing and trying to figure out what's next in the firearm space and continue to optimize all the platforms that we service or what the new ones, are that should be serviced. A lot of handgun stuff going on right now. We did that collaboration with Ruger with the RXM, and that has gone phenomenal. It's a fantastic system, and the additional frames rolling out. We're doing more in the AMAG space. Some handguns, most handguns just don't have space for a polymer solution. So we're doing some, CNC laser welding and some different technologies in the stamping, the way we do things, follower design with the handgun stuff in a conventional metal body. And we have more of those fitments coming out, a bunch more to be released here in the beginning of the year, and a bunch more shipping here as we get into Q4. So that stuff continues to churn. We're always looking for what's next on the front of the gun. Accessories mounting and accommodation for various, kind of mission needs. Sling stuff. The sling line continues to evolve and expand. Then on the other side, we got into the cases because we were tired of traveling with cases that were so frustrating, with latches popping open and it take 37 locks to secure it, and
37 locks, latches popping open, not the right gun case for two guns.
Yeah, it's a 2-gun case, but like if they were
2-gun
bolt actions
with no optic.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah. If you were iron-sighted bolt actions or lever actions, you were good.
Yeah, if you're carrying an optic and a can, it is not a 2-gun case anymore. Now that was immediately the one thing I noticed was slim profile and a wider box, and it didn't weigh 400 pounds.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is don't get me wrong. I love a bulletproof case where everything comes the way it's supposed to, but some of the cases are fucking overbuilt. So
you still have to fly with the thing. Yep. And so if it's a 2-gun case, but you can only put 1 gun worth of weight in it, it's still not a 2-gun case for airline purposes. Right. So, and the latch is holding the case shut when there's a lock on it completely. So if that was always one of my frustrations. You put padlocks through the lock locations, but you could still open the latches and peel the case open.
The case open. Yeah.
So solve that problem, and a bunch of other things. And the grid in itself, I love that, and that was always the I've got foam here, and I've got a cutout for this gun, but then I change what I want to put in that kit. So then you end up with like pieces of foam and t-shirts and whatever stuffed around stuff.
Right.
and trying to make it work. So grid solved that problem for us. So we really like working with that, especially with different configurations of stuff traveling. It's been super, super helpful.
Yeah, it was funny. When you guys sent us that big package, you sent us a bunch of the grid separate. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then we started figuring it out. We're like, oh, this is actually genius. But we didn't know what it was for.
They sent me some Legos. What's going on?
Why do I have this?
Yeah.
So, and for people that are just listening, it's exactly what it looks like is a Lego, and you put it right in the case, and man, it holds everything the way it's supposed to hold it. So I love it. No, I actually am running a case right now where I have my 2 sons' guns opposing in it, and it fits perfect. So definitely a high five there. What else is out there? What do you guys got coming?
So knives. We've played with knives throughout the years. The rigger, the original one, some limited dust, the EDC rigger with variations, and really it's kind of finding out what's going on in that market and trying to figure out where we add value. And what we ended up figuring out is a way to make MIM'd blades. And MIM can be considered a dirty word in some places because early MIM technologies where they were trying to make parts that were originally designed to be machined, there's some poor reputation for that there. And don't get me wrong, you can do poor MIM the same way you can do poor casting, and you can do really good MIM, really good casting the same way you can do really good machining and base material differences, right? So there's grades of what MIM is capable of, and this pushes the limits of what MIM is capable of, but it allows us to do some geometries and things with the metal injection molding process that would be exorbitantly expensive or difficult to do at all with traditional blade grinding. So we can have features that stand out from the blade for locks and grit clearance and things like that don't require you to start with a billet that's 1/2 inch thick and machine it down from there. And the same thing with blade profiles. You can do a hollow ground over the main body of the blade up into a flat ground at the tip, so that you have a better tip strength, but you have the benefits of that hollow ground section for maintaining edge retention and sharpness and slicing through materials cleanly, which is a pain to grind that way in a compound grind. But for us, we get it free near net. It pops out, of the hip process, and it's a near net blade. So that is something. It's taken us a while to sort that out. Don't get me wrong. There's some challenges there, some metallurgical things that we needed to figure out, grain structure and all those things, hardening profiles. But we're there. We're about to ship here within the next month or so, finally, that original knife. And there's a bunch that are already right behind it. So we're kind of excited about that.
So when will those get released?
So we announced and showed that a while. Actually, Blade HQ we're partnering with them for the release. They have it on pre-sale, and we're finally getting some of those problems sorted out in mass production, and the order keeps jumping up. So we have
It's never a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing at all.
Never a bad thing, right?
We will tackle that problem gladly.
Right.
But that really just adds to the delays with the number of blades and finished things that we have to have done. But we should be here in October, November, shipping all of those that are on pre-order, plus the additional dealer stocks that we've promised. And then very shortly after that, we have some other models that are coming along. We'll talk about those, at least one of those at SHOT Show.